Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whatever time of day it is, it's time for
Sunday Chat!
That's right. And look, there's been a little bit of a change, hasn't there, Paul? Paul's had his hair cut.
I've had my hair cut again, yeah.
It's much shorter.
Yeah.
I think it looks good.
He thinks it looks good.
I think it makes you look slightly younger.
Aww, almost 39.
I don't think so. You're fooling yourself if that's the case.
Almost 59, maybe. Yeah.
No, I do. I think it suits you. I think you need to get the hang of styling it. Mine's going next. I'm going shorter as well.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I could do your hair.
No, thanks.
We could do a video. I could cut your hair and we could do a video.
No, not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
No. So our friend cuts our hair for us.
Now,
because otherwise we just chop bits off ourselves.
she's been wanting to cut our hair for about 2 decades. I think she did cut my hair once, sort of about 6 or 7 years ago or something. And I'm not quite sure why we didn't continue.
I think we've said all this before, Paul.
Have we?
Yes.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, I'm just repeating things, but that's what I do. Yeah.
She actually enjoys it.
She does.
And she's quite good.
Yeah.
I mean, she did mine for me not so long ago, but mine needs a different style now. I'm bored with this curly look. I want to go a bit shorter now and something that's a little bit more manageable so I don't have to tie it up all the time because I just spend all my time with my hair in a bun.
Oh, can't you go on?
No, I just don't think I can. Anywho.
I could put the sort of inch thing on the razor and just sort of do that for you.
No, I don't want short.
Mm.
No, I've done that. I've had that.
I could Heath Robinson something up and make it longer and do that.
You could also shut up.
Yeah, I could do.
So welcome, and we always kick off with Richard and Paul's weather report. It is actually really, I know it looks a bit maybe dark in here, but it's
it's because
really...
you shut all the blinds.
But it's because it's changeable and cloudy. So the light will come and go and then it'll get too bright and then too dark and blah, blah, blah.
Doesn't your camera adjust for that?
Well, it does, but it doesn't do a very good job of it.
Oh, my phone does quite a good job of it.
Well, no, there are suddenly sort of wild variations.
Yeah.
And I'd rather not have that in a video.
In when I'm doing things in the shed, sometimes I get flaring because it does that. But when it's outside, it's absolutely fine. It's sort of all quite smooth. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it has been a very changeable week.
It has, and we have a weather warning for rain in operation at the moment for a full 48 hours. And we've had a few spots, a few showers, haven't we, so far today?
Well, certainly not the apocalyptic conditions that were forecast. However, this is the issue. The ground is already wet.
Yeah.
So anywhere prone to flooding, getting more rain, that's a danger.
Yeah.
So
I haven't looked at the level of the river recently, but it'll be interesting when I'm down there today. I'll try and have a look at that. Because that's always a gauge, you know, because the water level of the river can change by about 18 inches, something like that.
Well, I think I said last week...
I mean, even more between summer and high winter, you know.
I think I said last week the car park at work flooded on the day that I wasn't in work.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, this happens, but it's happening a lot more often. I had a bit of a troll comment last week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Does that matter?
Sort of a climate change denier.
Oh, right, an idiot, right. Okay, yeah.
You know, and I kind of replied and said, well, you know, yes, flooding does happen.
Naturally.
But the instances of flooding have risen. And also, at the end of the day, the changes are happening faster than they've ever happened in recorded history.
Yeah.
So, you know, we can clearly see this in the past 150 years, because they can go further back than that and they can study the core samples.
Absolutely.
And they can tell what kind of conditions have happened over thousands of years by studying those samples, and they've never seen changes happening as quickly as they're happening in the past recorded history. So, you know, we know this.
Yeah, so the changes in the past 100 years, let's just say, would have taken tens of thousands of years before. So, yeah, it's the speed of change.
Yeah,
so,
that's it. So, yeah, weather. Wet, windy,
and
changeable.
I think as we get into November, because of course by the time we're doing Sunday Chat next week, it will be November. The temperatures are beginning to fall at night, and it looks as though those November temperatures are going to be a bit more average than October has been. October's been pretty wet, but relatively mild, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we don't seem to be able to win, do we? You
No.
know? I was hoping for a really mild autumn, and I kind of got my wish, but it's been very wet at the same time.
I think that's what happens, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is.
The milder it is, the moister it is. Yeah, love that word, moist.
Moist.
Yeah. Moist.
A moist cake.
Yeah, lovely moist cake.
I love a moist cake.
Oh, moistness, lovely. Yeah.
Some people hate it, so we do apologise.
Yeah, moist.
Not really.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's our clock donging.
Yes, it's 12 o'clock. It's midday.
Midday.
Somebody said the other week at work, I was talking to somebody on the phone, and I said, well, it'll be midday. And she said, and what time is that?
What?
I said, it's 12 o'clock. Midday. 12 o'clock. Oh, is that 12 o'clock? I said, that's midday.
You're
Hello?
joking.
It's like midnight. That's 12 o'clock.
How bizarre. I do sometimes get confused between 12 a.m. and 12 p.m.
Why?
Because even now I'm sitting here, I can't remember which is which.
12 a.m.
Is now.
No.
Oh, right.
12, because as soon as it goes to 12, it's the next time phase, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is
12
12. No, we're now p.m. So wasn't that 12 a.m.?
No, because it's gone to 12.
Oh, see, 12 p.m. should be sort of
Could
midnight.
No, that's 12 a.m.
Is it?
Isn't it? Oh no, Paul.
Oh, dearie me.
Well,
there we are.
It's in 24-hour clock. It would be 000. No.
No, yeah. Well, midnight would be 0000. So I suppose that is 12 a.m.
Is there actually a 24?
No, there isn't, because it goes to 23:59:59 and then
000.
0000. So there's no. So the
24
24-hour clock
one?
doesn't have any
No.
24. No. No.
Oh, Paul. I'm confused.
Oh.
My tiny brain is not working now. So, just wanted to say thank you to all of those of you. Those of you.
All.
Okay. May as well give up now. I give up. To all of you who follow us on Facebook, because we've yet again been awarded Rising Creator again.
Yay!
But apparently that then sort of, Facebook then starts recommending you. And I noticed we'd had a couple of very odd-looking followers.
Odd looking.
Well, you
Odd
think,
comments.
No, you look at it and think, who are you? So you check. And it was like, follow me and pay me money and praise be to God and all. I thought,
dear.
no. Goodbye, block.
Yeah.
So I think this is the price you
So
pay.
all the bots come in then and things like that.
Well, I think this is the price you pay for becoming more famous.
Oh, there we are.
There's a higher level of trolling and there's a higher level of weirdness.
Yeah, I
Isn't
think
that?
somebody did comment something. Oh yeah, you said, didn't you? I've already lost. It was about the climate change. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was another one as well.
Was there? Is that
That,
what I'm thinking of?
No, there was another one taking a pop at me.
Oh, that's okay.
Who does he think he is? Trying to sound like a woman.
Really?
And I thought,
We don't really get many of those.
No, we don't.
No,
we used to have quite a few trolls over the years,
Yeah.
especially in live shows on YouTube, but we haven't had many for a while. Bring it on, bitches, that's what I say. Because I ain't afraid of trolls. I tell you, it's just a pain in the ass.
The interesting thing is when actually you don't care. You know, we love our subscribers and all the subscribers who engage, and it's absolutely lovely. But we don't care about losing subscribers if they are not the people that we like.
No.
So if trolls come on, it's like block, goodbye.
And some of them just go away, and it's like the trash took itself out.
Exactly.
So, it's weird. I just find it weird when people in the past have said things like, "Are you trans?"
Oh, have they?
Yeah. And it's like, well, so what if I am?
Yes, exactly.
Hello? It is 2023. People can be who they want to be. That's it.
Yeah.
Full stop.
I did meet at the gate of the allotment about a month ago the guy who always comments. I don't know who he is, and he always sort of comments of the fact that what I'm doing at the plot is wrong or whatever. And he said, what did he say? What was it about?
Still watching.
Oh, it was about the blight on tomatoes, and he went, saw what you were doing about the blight on tomatoes. And I thought, oh, here we go. He's going to come up with his own, what. He said, oh, I thought it was really good advice, actually. Unusually. It was just that addition of the word unusually. It just made me laugh. Because, things like that actually, when people, think they know better, and they may know better. It's just the way people say things. It can just make me laugh.
Well, I think,
because I don't really care. That's why.
Everybody judges.
Yeah.
We all make
do.
Judgments. That is actually a natural part of being human.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are always judgments and prejudices that occur. It's when it's thrown at you in a nasty way that I really gets my hackles up,
Or from someone who doesn't know the facts.
People can't help themselves sometimes, and it's quite sad, really, Anyway, let's move on.
So that was the weather, yeah.
That was the weather and other things.
I have to say, when I was at the plot yesterday, the sun, it was sort of like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. The sun was so glorious on the plot. And there's a tree, one of the trees in your work that is going all golden now. And it just looked absolutely glorious. It really. This time of year, the light at this time of year, and the sun when it is on, it's really full. It just is sort of golden and mellow. It's lovely.
When it's on full.
Yeah, when it's full on, when there's no clouds and it's just there and it's full sun.
When God's turned the brightness up.
Yeah, or moved a few clouds out of the way. Yeah, yeah.
Praise be.
Yeah.
Anyway, so how has the week been? Let's reflect on the week. Now, there was some sad news this week. Paul's old boss, Bill Kenwright, passed away. Died, I mean.
Yeah, died.
I don't know why I say passed away.
No, died. And it was quite. So that happened on Tuesday, and I was actually with Vanessa on Tuesday, and I said to Vanessa, Bill's died, and we both. I mean, I worked at Bill Kenwright Limited, and Bill and Vanessa worked together on a tour of The Hobbit as well, and they've known each other for a long time, and Vanessa knows Jenny separately to us knowing Jenny as well. It's that small coterie of the industry. You sort of know each other
Theatre.
pretty well. Yeah, theatre. Even though I haven't been doing theatre for quite a while, but it came as a bit of a surprise. I did know he was quite unwell, and when I saw him a few months ago, like 2 or 3 months ago. I mean, he was ebullient and he was Bill. You know, he absolutely was. But there was some that it felt as though there was some pain behind that. And we were in a room full of all the producers, marketing people, and etc. So we dropped a note to Jenny and said we were sorry to hear about that, and it things like that, they do take you back to the moments, because when I was with Bill Kenwright and working absolutely alongside Bill, it was full on, wasn't it? That 4 years was absolutely full on. But what then happened the following day, which was really quite triggering for me, was I got approached by quite a few media, quite a few of the BBC local radio stations, Daily Mail, another national newspaper, and a couple of national radio stations approached me to do a piece about my time remembering Bill and my time with Bill. And actually it was a really good time, and I learnt a lot. But working at Bill Kenwright is not easy, and Bill had he was very hands-on and very controlling of everything that went on, which was fine. It was his company, But yeah, there were good times and there were bad times, and they're still sort of interwoven. So having all of these people sort of approaching me saying, would you like to give your thoughts on Bill Kenwright, it was a bit triggering. And of course I said no to all of them. I didn't want to do that. It wasn't the time, certainly. Yeah.
Well, we don't really do stuff like that, do we?
I
mean,
no.
Yeah. We've got a notification, la notification.
Yeah. Well, I think that will be things arriving for me. So.
Oh, how nice!
The subscribe and save thing that we've got.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So
but the theatre, the West End theatre lights were dimmed. I think the Schubert theatres also were dimmed on Broadway. I think on Thursday evening, I think it was. So quite a. I mean, at one point
he had a big presence in West End and touring.
Yeah, I mean, at one point, I was working when I was there. I was working on 23 productions, and I don't mean like 23 individual events. I mean long-running shows or touring shows or shows that were on Broadway or shows that were about to happen. It was really, really busy, and I think at one point it was worked out that he was employing in theatre world 40% of the sort of actors and all the backstage crew and directors and things. That's a significant number of people. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And of course was responsible for the success of Blood Brothers as well. Brilliant show. Yeah.
Lovely, Paul, thank you for that. But it's also been quite a busy week for you, hasn't it, Paul? You went into space earlier this week, didn't you? Not quite.
Not quite.
You were at a space centre, though. What the hell were you there for, Paul?
It's so I've actually been down to Vanessa at For Her Sake twice this week, which is quite unusual. I usually do like once or twice a month, but there were things happening, so I needed to go down, and I went down on Thursday, and we were doing a presentation at the Mullard Space Science Laboratory about our satellite shopping service that we do, where we go and people leave their empty shopping bags, containers, and a list of what they want.
And then you launch them into space.
We pick that up with our electric vehicles, do all their shopping for them, and then we drop them back the next day with a receipt, and then they pay us for that shopping. Sort of a bit like the sort of co-op van that used to go around, that maybe us older people, not like Richard, but us older people might remember the co-op van. Yeah.
Well, we had a bread van.
No, the co-op used to have, it's a little van used to go around that had tins and, custard and all of that inside it.
Well, yeah, that's what the bread van had.
Well, there we are. They are the same things. You are older than I thought you were, Richard.
Cakes, bread.
Yeah, things like that.
And you'd had a milkman, the bread man, And you had a pop man.
Yeah, you did have a pop man. We
Yeah.
had Corona. Our pop man was, and there was Quencher.
These days.
There was Quencher as well, wasn't there?
I don't think ours was branded. I think it was like a knockoff. But yes. Anyway, sorry.
Sorry for interrupting.
I do apologise.
Yeah. So we did the presentation, and there's various people joining that satellite shopping service, which is great.
So hold on.
But
why did you go to the Space Centre really? It wasn't about launching shopping into space, was it?
No, I've just said what it was about. It was about the satellite shopping service, which you've just ignored.
But why did you go to a space centre?
Because one of the people there already shops that way in their local village, and the village is next door to this space science centre, and we were invited to go there. So we started a hub. Yeah.
Lovely.
And it's an amazing building. It's an old mansion. I mean, the views from it are incredible. It's high on the Surrey Hills. I think someone said it used to be owned by the Guinness family, and it's now University College London. It's a UCL building, and yeah, it's the people there were terribly interesting. I was talking with somebody who's studying gravitational waves. Ooh. Another person who is doing a PhD student who is doing some studying of how they're going to use data for the LISA mission that is going to be orbiting the sun, in a number of years' time. Yeah, it was fascinating. And they put out these publications, which themselves are, not surprisingly, really interesting. And there's lots of bits of equipment and machinery there. There's some bits of blown up machinery of a rocket that went up and it blew up and it crashed into marshland in France, and they got the bits that they put on that it's all buckled and dented, and yeah, amazing.
Were there any buttons that you could press and things and interactive exhibits?
No, it's not.
It's not a visitor centre.
It's not a visitor centre. Oh. No, it's not a visitor centre. But there were plenty of chocolate buttons which we had taken, which went down extremely well with everyone there. Do you remember those caramel chocolate buttons that For Her Sake does?
Yeah, I do. Where are mine?
Well, since we've been trying to be careful, I haven't brought any home, or none have got home anyway. Yeah.
Lovely, Paul. Thank you for that interesting segment.
But it was quite a long day, because then in the evening, Vanessa and I were at the WWF Centre in Woking for the Crest Awards, which is a Surrey sort of environmental impact awards ceremony.
Nothing to do with the toothpaste.
Not to do with the toothpaste. And because it was such a busy day, we missed the first award, and the second award was our award, and we got there just before the award was being, and the short list is blah blah blah, and Vanessa and I were standing at the back because we just walked in, and after there were videos of the three finalists, and Vanessa was one of the finalists, and just as that finished, she sort of leant back against the wall, and there was a light panel behind her, so all the auditorium lights came up.
Oh no.
And people sort of, looked around.
She made her entrance.
And then she was, and then it was like, the winner is For Her Sake. So Vanessa then had to go on stage. It was ridiculous. It was so funny. But really great that For Her Sake won that award. It was the Sustainability Impact Award for businesses with a turnover of less than £1 million. So yeah, that was great. And the other finalists were, one was a sort of like bio fuel for shipping, it's incredible, and the other one was a electric scooter company that is installing electric scooters and charging points around Surrey. So I mean, they were really, really good, you know. And it was lovely as well that Bee Friends, who all of their bee products are in For Earth's Sake, they also won the award on Thursday, so that was great. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
So we'll be sharing that, or I'll be sharing that on social media, on the For Earth's Sake social media over the weekend. So yeah, there we are.
Lovely. A busy week, Paul.
It was, and then I had to drive home, and I also had an issue with the car and the petrol cap
Again.
because I couldn't.
You were doing it the wrong way.
I was doing it the wrong way. I couldn't remember how to open our petrol cap, because you have to put a key in, turn it, then turn the actual cap, and I couldn't work out what I had to do. And I didn't have enough fuel, I think, to get back to London, so I had to fill it up or put some fuel in. But fortunately,
Whatever.
I worked it out. Yeah. But it's those things, you know, it's
when
in
you're,
the
it's when you're
stress
stressed.
moment. Yeah.
I find when I'm stressed, sometimes I become sort of blind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can't see or work out what it is that you need to do. And you start to panic inside. And as soon as that happens, you've lost it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you need to gather yourself up, stop, do something else for a moment, and then turn your attention back to what it is you need to solve. Because otherwise you just won't do it. Yeah.
I had one of those at my desk yesterday morning where I knew I had to do 6 things, and exactly the same thing. So I came down, made coffee, went back upstairs, and said, oh yeah, I do that. So yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's enough.
How was your week, Richard?
Well, Paul, thank you so much for asking. It's been a busy week for me as well. I had to work all week. But here's my little vlogs for you.
I didn't know you'd done any this week.
I have.
Oh.
Only 3, I think. So run VT. Run VT. VT. Saturday afternoon. I'm just about to edit Sunday Chat. The sky has gone very, very dark. Very dark indeed. It looks as though we're either gonna get a really big downpour. Oh, it is starting now. It's very dark. Paul has gone out to the AGM. So he's indoors, which is good. But yes, and the rain is beginning. There's been a lot of rain recently. It's Tuesday evening already. Can't quite believe we're nearly at Wednesday. That's how it goes, Richard. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Funny that. Anyway, so let me reflect back. Sunday, changeable day of weather, rain at certain times, I think. Lots of clouds, beautiful skies. Yesterday, I was at work. It was a busy day. And I also received a text from the coal company to say that my delivery would come on Tuesday between 6 and 8. 6 and 8 what? Is that 0600 or 6 p.m. or 1800? What does it mean? Tell me. So I phoned them. I said, is this 6 p.m. or a.m.? And they said, it's a.m. in the morning. I said, okay, great. But if you could put that or make it clear whether it's 24-hour clock, that would be helpful. I don't think they like me very much. He wasn't very impressed. Anywho, so I knew I had to be up early this morning, so I was awake at 5:30. Got washed and dressed straight away, just in case the delivery came early. But they arrived around 8:30. Very pleasant young man. Ben, his name was. It was very easy on the eye as well. I said to him, must keep you fit, this job. And he said, well, I'm in the lorry most of the time. I said, oh. I reined myself in because it's a bit creepy, isn't it, being like that with a young man. Anywho, he brought all of the coal, the logs, and the kindling to exactly where I wanted it. Did it all for me, didn't have to lift a finger, which was great. He probably thought, I'll help this old man. That's what he probably thought. Anywho, so I got him from work and I thought I'm going to have to sort them out. Well, they were all very neat, but I like to bring the kindling in to keep it dry. I like to bring some of the logs and put them under the table in the garden. That's the sort of glass-topped table that we have on the patio. I put some of those under there just to keep them dry. They are wrapped in plastic, but just like to keep them dry because they're kiln-dried logs, so they burn very cleanly. So let me summarise what I got. I got 15 bags of eco coal. That's a smokeless fuel, and they're made partially from olive pits. So we found them quite good last year. They certainly didn't belch out lots of smoke, which was good because the paintwork in here isn't blackened. We use the air filter as well. I've got a little air purifier. We have that by the fire. So that helps to suck in any excess smoke, which is a good idea. So I brought some logs in. I don't know whether you can see them in that basket just over there. I've got kindling in another basket under the coffee table down in this corner. I've got my firelighters. I've got a few of those heat logs from last year as well. But anyway, 15 bags of eco coal. I got 11 bags of logs because if you ordered 11, it went into the cheaper price range. And I bought 5 bags of kindling. And all of that came to just over 200 quid, which isn't too bad, considering you get them delivered for free and, brought right to the door. So we don't have to, go to the garden centre to buy coal and logs and lug it back in the car. I thought that was quite good. And that should last us well into winter. I think I did a couple of orders or maybe 3 orders last winter. Look, I don't necessarily like having an open fire, but if the energy prices do go up, we've got something to fall back on. If we have a really cold snap, it really helps. Some would consider it a luxury. We consider it a necessity because we don't want to be paying sky-high prices for central heating. We're trying to be a little bit flexible with the type of heat that we use. We bought a little ceramic heater as well, which is fairly cheap to run should we need it. We've got a little fan heater as well, so we don't have to rely on gas all of the time. But last year, as you all know, it was bloody cold in this house because we had to keep central heating to a minimum. I'm not going through that again, so we're now well equipped. Yeah. I mean, we have had winters with fires in the past, but they have been a luxury. And it's kind of been saved for times when we've had guests over, just to give that little added ambiance, you know. But like I say, last year was a necessity to keep the gas to a minimum. So, anywho, that's it, I think, for today's report. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm all sorted. I've just got to vacuum around because there's bits of wood and sawdust and things on the floor. Paul is out. He's been at For Earth's Sake today, so he's on his way back now. We're due a lot of rain this evening. Again. So it's falling on saturated ground, and our car park at work was flooded on Friday when I wasn't there. Apparently there was almost a foot of water. So we've had a guy over today making sure the rain drains are clear. So yeah, so I hope that doesn't happen again. I've got to go to IT tomorrow morning. So I'm going to take a little trip out on the bus into Ealing Town, which is called Ealing Broadway. So yeah. Anywho, I'm waffling now. Goodbye. Good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is. What time is it? Alexa, what's the time?
The time is 5:31 p.m.
5:31. Not long been in from work. I got in, put a wash on, put the dishwasher on. Paul's out. He's going to be back quite late tonight because he's had to go somewhere with Vanessa to some awards ceremony. So I think he'll be back at 9:30, 10. He's driving back. So yeah, it's Thursday and I'm having hot chocolate because it's quite cool. Not cool as in it's cool to drink, but cool as in the temperature is quite cool. So I thought a nice hot drink once I've sat down. It's still light, but of course this weekend we will be plunged into darkness by this time of day because the clocks go back on Sunday. Yeah. I love a hot chocolate, don't you? It's not too sweet either. But the one thing I remembered that I needed to tell you was that I couldn't remember last week one of the things that happened in the week. We had massages at work. It was really good, and it was treated to us by a colleague who had sort of won some nomination or something, and she could choose something, so she chose to have massages for the team, basically. And it was great. It was really good. It was over the clothes. It wasn't naked. Disgusting. So that was really good. So I've told you now, so we can move on to the present. Well, not quite. Yesterday at work, I had to go to IT to get my new laptop, and I have to say, the experience was really good. Our IT department is excellent. They were friendly, prompt, just very, very good, you know. And for the past few years, I've been using a Microsoft Surface Pro, which is like a laptop, tablet and keyboard thing. And it's been brilliant. Well, they've upgraded us, so we've got a better, newer model now, and we all had to go and collect them from IT. If you ever decide to splash out on a tablet stroke laptop, the Surface are brilliant. I have never used any laptop that has been that good before. This one has just performed so well, and this new one is even quicker. It's great. So I'm very, very pleased with that experience. I was out of the office for a little while, which was good. Work has been busy this week, and I've been a little bit unhappy with having to work today and tomorrow. I've had no choice. My boss is on leave. There's nobody else to cover, so I am kind of doing it under duress. And of course, you know, look, of course I want to be helpful. Of course I want to give good value and perform well at work and do the right thing. Of course I do. And, you know, I think I'm a helpful person. But when it's kind of, when you've been given no kind of choice and you feel duty bound to extend your goodwill, you're between a rock and a hard place, really. And look, I'm not moaning about it. I'm grateful for the money. But you know what I mean? You know, when you feel duty bound to do something? Anyway, I was just hoping for a little bit of extra time this week, like last week. Anyway, if I just continue with this, I'll just be moaning, so I'm going to stop right now. But it has been fairly busy at work. I did have an hour out today to do a Makaton refresher. So for those of you who don't know what Makaton is, it's a total communication tool, basically. It's based on British Sign Language, and it is basically a sign language method of communicating. So I did a refresher course, which was an hour, which was good. So hello, thank you for watching me. Yeah, so today was fine, but I have to work tomorrow as well. Cram everything into the weekend again. Next week is going to be different. I'm going to set down my rules at the beginning of the week and say, I'm sorry, but I need part-time hours this week. It's the only thing that will suit me. Besides, I've made some arrangements to see a friend. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm going to drink my hot chocolate, wait for my washing to finish, and then pop that out upstairs with the dehumidifier on. Yeah, feeling quite tired. Bye for now. Tweedle pip. It's Friday evening. We've made it through the week. We did it. It's felt like a busy week this week. And I guess it has been. And Fridays for me are quiet in some ways at work, but busy in others. So, for example, whenever it's the end of my working week, whether that's a Wednesday, Thursday, or a Friday, I've got certain jobs that I like to do. For example, I clean all the chairs. I clean the reception area in terms of surfaces. I wipe down the door handles and the keypads. I like to do that once a week now. It used to be virtually every other day that I would do it during the pandemic and after the pandemic, but now it's kind of once a week. So I sort of have to get on with those kind of things. There's been plenty of work to do. So yeah, it has been a busy week. And it is, what time is it now? Well, as you can see from the blind here, it's dark outside. I think it's about 6:15, 6:30, something like that. Alexa, what's the time?
It's 6:29 p.m.
6:29, there we go. Yeah, and it's feeling chilly. It really is. Paul's upstairs having a bath. He had a very busy day yesterday, which I'm sure he'll tell you all about. He had quite a long day with Vanessa, so he didn't get home till about 8:30, 9 o'clock last night. So he's feeling a bit knackered today, and he's also had a haircut. Yeah, he's gone much shorter, and it looks really nice. So I think he's pleased with that. I'm going to be having mine done soon. Our friend does our hair for us very kindly. So that's quite good, quite convenient. She's not a hairdresser, but she's pretty good at cutting hair. So yeah. So it's cold, it's chilly. I've just actually put the heating on because it's about 15 degrees in the house. And I really want the house to feel a little bit warmer. It's Friday evening, for goodness sake. So yeah, there's nothing really else to report. Nothing else to report, I mean. Can't get my words out right. Yeah, it's going to be Saturday tomorrow, obviously. That's the way it goes. And it will be a filming day for Sunday Chat and also a chores day. I've got things to do in the morning. I've got toilets to clean, bathrooms to wipe down, vacuuming to do, dusting and a little tidying because the dining room is looking a little bit like a dumping ground at the moment. We've also got a huge parcel which we've taken in for next door. So that's blocking my hallway at the moment. I don't like having my hallway blocked. It's bad feng shui. So, yeah. Shit to do. But not this evening. I'm chilling out now. Yeah. Dinner, chill out, TV, maybe a card game. We'll see. So bye for now. Toodle pip. So there we are. That's it.
That was fascinating, Richard.
Well,
thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Paul. I do try.
You give and you give.
I just give. That's all I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's
Amazing.
all we do.
Yeah. There we are.
Anyway, let's move on. So this weekend it's the clocks, isn't it?
Yes.
The clocks go back. Again. Only seems like 5 minutes since we put them forward.
And it's 6 months.
I know.
Ish. Yeah.
So the clocks in the UK, well, it's
the
same
UK.
for the UK,
Yeah.
go back on the last Sunday of October, and they go forward on the last Sunday in March. That's it. People again this week. Do they go back? Two people said, do they go back?
Spring forward for summer, fall back for fall. Though, to be fair, we don't call
Spring
autumn.
forward to spring.
Yeah, spring forward to spring, fall back
Fall
for
back
fall.
to fall,
Yeah.
that's how you
But we
remember
don't
it.
call fall over here.
Well,
we call it autumn.
Fall, autumn. Much of a muchness, really, isn't it?
Mm.
But it's the last Sunday. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we'll be plunged into early darkness from now on.
Well, from tomorrow onwards.
We've
I mean,
had
we
this
won't
debate.
notice, will we? So,
What do you
we'll
mean?
notice at the end of the day. We won't notice at the beginning of the day.
No, well, that's what it was designed for, to give
I
a little
know.
bit more light in the mornings, wasn't it?
But there's a whole sort of plethora of reasons why,
I'm
which
not
we've
gonna
been
go
into
it,
before.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pointless. So, and also we've got Halloween coming up. I've noticed the fireworks have already started.
We were watching some TV last night. and
Pop,
we-
pop, pop,
yeah.
and bang, bang. I mean, people just can't help themselves, can they?
No.
No.
They're popping, banging
We've
everywhere.
had this debate before
Yeah.
about fireworks. We
Yeah.
don't really agree with them. Yes, when we were younger, we used to have fireworks, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's polluting, isn't it?
Mm.
It really fills the atmosphere with nasty smelling smoke.
But also the noise. I mean, you can have silent fireworks, as we've said before, and I don't know why they just don't do them.
Well, or just do drone displays.
Yeah, but
Drone displays are incredible.
They are incredible, but as I said before, the amount of drones you would need to cover all of the organised bonfires and fireworks things around the world would just be immense.
And of course, then they all have to be charged using electricity.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Hey ho,
whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to accept that that's how it is.
And then, of course, after Halloween comes November the 5th in the UK.
Yeah.
So we have at the allotments our bonfire social next Saturday already. It just seems like it doesn't seem a year since we had the last one. So, so there we are. No fireworks at that.
So let's get on to the final segment of the day, which is what have we watched on television this week? It's been a good week for TV.
We binged.
We binged on Bodies on Netflix. Oh, fantastic. Highly, highly recommended. No, I'm not going to say what it is because
It's really worth
it's
watching.
a thriller. It's a
And it's set across a
detective.
number of decades.
It's a detective thriller. And it has several twists.
Yeah.
Good twists. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Somebody actually we know, a neighbour of ours, worked on it. And in
Yeah.
fact, he told you about it, didn't he?
He did. I think I met him about 6 weeks ago when he was walking their dog, and we got chatting, and I said about the Nixon time travel thing that we'd seen. Do you remember? Was it Nixon? No.
No, I don't remember.
You
It doesn't
know,
matter.
anyway, about
Blah,
time
blah,
travel and
blah.
that we love it. And he said, oh, you might like something that I've just finished work on. It's going to be on Netflix in a few months' time. And I said, oh, that would be absolutely great. So we'll look out for it. And then it popped up last week. So, yeah. Kennedy. That's what I was thinking of. The time travel Kennedy one, which was
Good.
really good. So yeah, well worth watching.
Really, really good. Thrilling and just great viewing, to be honest.
Great story.
British made.
Yeah.
British made.
Yeah.
So we've also continued with Bosch Legacy, which also continues to be thrilling as well.
Yeah.
After a very tense start,
Yeah.
the tension isn't as high, but it's very good. I mean, it's
excellent.
such a good show.
Bosch
That's
is brilliant.
on Freevee, which is part of Amazon.
Yeah.
We've started the new series on Disney of What We Do in the Shadows. Again, superb, fun.
Laugh out loud.
Yeah, great. We continue with RuPaul's Drag Race. I think it's now episode 5.
Yeah.
Alexa, please stop. Thank you. Yeah, episode 5, and that continues to be a good watch, although I did fall asleep.
Yeah, I think you were tired. I think we started watching it late because I got back on Thursday late, so we started watching it late.
Yeah, and it has been a busy week, a full week for me, which I said in my vlog. Not this coming week, though.
Right.
I'm going to be putting my foot down.
That's
Definitely.
A hand.
That's a hand.
Foot.
Don't be doing that, Paul, on our old Victorian floorboards, thank you. So that's it for this week's show.
Well, we watched other things as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we watched the usuals,
Yeah.
Murder, She Wrote, Father Brown, Golden Girls, which we're watching again,
Yeah.
for a little gentle viewing before bed.
Parks and Recreation did come up, and we thought, Parks
We
and
haven't
Recreation.
rewatched that for a while, have
No,
we?
but also something that we haven't rewatched for at least 6 months is Kath and Kim, and that came up, and I just started laughing.
Maybe we'll just cherry
dear.
pick
Yeah,
episodes from that. We do like a rewatch.
Yeah.
We do. So that's it. Thank you, bloody thank you for
Is that
your
it?
support.
Is that it? Are we going?
That's what I've said.
Oh.
And that's what we're doing. So yes, we'll get on with our day now. Almost time for lunch, Paul.
I think it is time for lunch, and we are having hummus. Yeah.
We've got some leftover pasta.
Yeah,
To
I
go
think we
into a
might
soup.
have that in some. We might have that later. I thought maybe baked with a bit of cheese on top and something.
Believe me, it doesn't need any more addition of cheese.
I buy this big block of cheese that usually lasts us about 6 weeks until I sort of go to Vanessa and Richard makes something. And then the block of cheese sort of it's like that big now.
Look, if you're going to make a cheesy pasta, it's got to taste of cheese.
I think you just melt the cheese and you put the pasta and cook the pasta in the cheese, don't you? Is that what you do?
Well, I mean, it was the equivalent of a small fondue. But it was tasty, and there's leftovers, so I didn't eat the whole block of cheese.
I think you did very well in
I
in
think
keeping
it would be
some.
nice in a soup.
What, in a courgette and lentil soup?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe.
I think
maybe.
so.
Yeah.
So, time to say goodbye now, Paul. Say goodbye. Say goodbye.
See you next week.
Take care.
I love see you next Tuesday.
See you
That
next
always
time.
makes me laugh.
Goodbye. Take care. Thank you for your support. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.